Grain and livestock markets closed mixed to higher Thursday. This is the American Ag Network. I'm Corryn with this closing market wrap-up. Grain and oilseed futures closed higher Thursday, led by a strong rally in soybean futures as crude oil prices continued to surge. Soybeans finished the session up 13 to 14 cents, while corn added 2 to 3. Wheat also moved higher with additional support coming from continued dryness concerns across the southern plains. Weekly export sales for soybeans were largely unremarkable, coming in at a net 456,700 metric tons. That total fell within trade expectations of 250,000 to 800,000 and was down 2% from the 4-week average. Weekly net export sales for corn totaled 1.53 million metric tons, also within trade estimates of 800,000 to 2.2 million metric tons, and likewise down 2% from that 4-week average. Wheat futures also drew support from rising geopolitical tensions tied to the ongoing U.S. and Israeli conflict with Iran, along with broader strength across corn, soybean, and crude oil markets. Solid export demand and concerns about a potential cold wave expected to reach the central U.S. next week also lent support. Net U.S. wheat export sales for the week ending March 5th totaled 18.2 million bushels, including 16.7 million for the 25-26 marketing year. The total exceeded trade expectations and nearly doubled the previous week's 9.5 million bushels. Marketing year-to-date export sales reached 863.5 million bushels, up 11.7% from a year earlier. Livestock futures closed mixed Thursday. Lean hog futures moved lower under pressure from weaker weekly pork export sales and technically driven selling. Live cattle and feeder cattle futures initially came under pressure from technical selling, surging crude oil prices, and weakness in the U.S. stock market, but later recovered part of their losses. Taking a look at closing numbers, May corn up 2 1/4 at 462.5. May soybeans up 13 1/4 at 1227.25. May wheat up 3 3/4 at 598.5. May Kansas City wheat unchanged at 613.5. May Minneapolis wheat down 3.5 at 634. Moving over to the livestock complex, we've got April live cattle up 110 at 231.25. March feeder cattle down 50 cents at 348.22, and April hogs down 85 at 94.35. Thanks for joining me for this closing market wrap-up. I'm Corryn with the American Ag Network.